This Bally Sports Southwest, the heart of the fan.
The Kansas City Royals drew a bad hand, having to face the Rangers. Last night, the series started with Andrew Heaney's Royal flush. Strike three, he got him! And Andrew Heaney has just tied an American League record for consecutive strikeouts. And a stacked deck of hitters prepared to call Kansas City's bluff.
Para él, un batazo de línea por el jardín izquierdo para atrás. Sigue, sigue. Se fue.
Will the Royals be able to muster a pair tonight against DeGrom or be forced to fold? It's a very short homestand, and it continues tonight here at Globe Life Field. Rangers baseball on Bally Sports Southwest, presented by Choctaw Casinos and Resorts. Game 2 of this series, Rangers and the Royals got off to a great start yesterday. We began talking about some of the big offensive players like Corey Seager in the middle of the order, and boy did they deliver yesterday, including the grand slam late in the ball game by El Bombi. And of course it was the pitching of Andrew Heaney. Welcome in, everybody. Great to be with you tonight. I'm Dave Raymond with Dave Valley. We had a great one last night. Some remarkable performances for the Rangers and a convincing opening series win. Now, today we're not going to talk so much about the offensive players, even though they put up big numbers yesterday. Let's spend some time talking about this starting pitching.
Let's do that, because winning starts and ends with quality pitching. And over the winter times, Chris Young went out there and really overhauled this starting rotation, bringing in 3 new arms. And you take a look at what they've been able to do in their second start. All of them very consistent, going at least 5 innings. Of course, Jacob DeGrom, back on April 5th, went 6 innings, giving up only 1 run. And he's back on the mound tonight as he gets ready to hand that baton to the next guy. But the Royals are going to have their hands full, because DeGrom, in that last outing, 11 strikeouts over 6 innings. That was the 59th time that he has struck out 10 guys or more. And this season, of the 39 batters faced, he has struck out nearly 50%, 18 of 39.
All right, see if he can keep a good thing going. They got started yesterday with Andrew Heaney. And offensively, the Rangers haven't disappointed either. They got some production from down low, but it was the big bats who really made the noise. And Resorts. And by Baylor Scott and White Health, changing healthcare for the better.
A gorgeous night here in Arlington. So we've got the top down here at Globe Life Field as the Rangers and Royals get set to play game 2 of a 3-game series. The Rangers looking to take that series win after taking the opener 11-2. And a lot of that production came from the bottom of the lineup, as we see in our Shiner Box Spotlight, and from 2 guys in particular, Travis Jankowski and Bubba Thompson. Ever since that finale in Chicago, they have been in the lineup, and they have been wreaking havoc at the bottom of the lineup. And you know what they say, you don't have to get ready when you stay ready, and that has been the case with both of these guys early on this season. Really providing, setting the table for this offense, for the top of that lineup. You see the numbers there and the production that they've had in their respective positions. And with what they are able to do on the bases, at the plate, it really does create problems, all different kinds of problems for defenses, and creates opportunities for those hitting behind them, guys.
Well, they have done a terrific job, and so back in there again today. And now DeGrom goes to work. First pitch of the ball game lofted out to fairly deep center field, but Bobby Witt Jr. on 1 pitch is retired to get us going here this evening.
Jacob DeGrom this season has thrown 9 2/3 innings, has an ERA of 5.59, 18 punch-outs, only 2 walks, and opponent's batting average is 216. He's going to come at you with that 4-seam fastball, slider, change, and a curve. Over 50% of those will be that fastball. He will come after the hitters and challenge them. I think what we've seen already is that the Royals swinging early in the count. We're going to probably see that quite a bit here this evening.
They haven't let a pitch go as this one fouled off by Melendez.
Part of that,
hitter.
You know, a hitter doesn't want to get 2 strikes with Jacob deGrom out there. So they're looking to put that ball in play early.
deGrom fires that one right on the inside corner. Strike 3 called, and Melendez, the first strikeout victim tonight.
Talk about pinpoint control right here. 2 strikes, 0-2, and he just paints that inside corner. Not a whole lot that Melendez can do right here. Just locked him up.
So now first pitch strike to Salvador Perez. A good slider from deGrom. Perez 237 average. And he'll reach out and slap this one foul. It's 0-2. deGrom doesn't monkey around. I mean, he gets the ball and wants to go. He doesn't like that one. Come on. You could see our plate umpire, Carlos Torres. He was, even before he threw that out there, I think he thought it was suspect, and he was asking for a new set of baseballs. And so there's a new one. 0-2, and this one fouled away as well. There's the fastball.
First one we've seen at 100 miles an hour from deGrom.
Already has 1 strikeout, the 0-2 pitch, and there is strikeout number 2. Perez down swinging, an 8-pitch first inning, and deGrom looks just as sharp as always.
Just more of the same from Jacob deGrom. 2 punch-outs here in the very top of the first inning. The Royals going to try to get ready for some more.
Energy tonight, and Texas at 6-4. They have sole possession of first place currently in the West Division. Marcus Semien leads it off at second. Corey Seager at shortstop, and Nathaniel Lowe at first. That's the story every night. Garcia in right, Young at third. Jonah Heim does the catching today. He'll bat 6th. And then the bottom third of the order, Jankowski in there again in center. He's been great. Brad Miller DHing, and Bubba Thompson in left field.
Jordan Lyle on the mound, the right-hander for the Kansas City Royals. He's thrown 11 innings, has an ERA of 4.91. He's got 11 strikeouts, 2 walks, and opponents are hitting .283 against the right-hander. His arsenal looks like this: 4-seam fastball, 2-seamer, sweeper, curveball, and a change. He will come at you with that fastball, throwing it 50% of the time.
He misses with ball 1 to Semien, and goes with the breaking ball. Just off the, well, rather on the corner for a strike. Lyles has been around for a while, and another good breaking ball. That is strike 2. He's got that tight little curve. Not a real hard thrower, and the 1-2 pitch, that's low. 2-2.
And so far here early in the season, and Marcus Semien is swinging the bat well. He's hitting .308 in Ranger wins, and the Ranger losses just 0.59. So kind of as Marcus goes, so goes the Rangers.
Yeah, I think it's been a better start maybe this year than it was last year, but it's not anywhere near where he would like it. It's still so early. A couple of good games, and he could be right back where one would expect him. We've seen that with Corey Seager, who's gotten hot. And this ball hit hard out to left field, hanging up for a little while, and on a diving effort, Isbell, did he make that catch? He did. Wow! It just spun up there a little bit too long for Semien, and it allowed Isbell to make a brilliant catch.
Yeah, this is a phenomenal grab right here by Isbell, the center fielder. You could see that he was playing towards right center. He had to go a long way and just times his dive perfectly and snares that ball just as it's about ready to hit the ground. Fantastic play.
My goodness. And now you'll see this unusual shift against Corey Seager. We know that you can no longer manipulate your infielders. So you see the right fielder Melendez way in where we used to see second baseman play. And the remaining outfielders, Olivares in left, Isbell in center field, they both slide over and trying to play like basically a two-man outfield. Really a gamble of the shift.
It's interesting because that right fielder, how often is he taking ground balls in shallow right field? I wonder if they're practicing that, because that's got to feel very awkward. You already know that you're in a very strange place out there in shallow right field with Corey Seager up.
2-1. That is off the plate. Ball 3. We saw it a handful of times last night where they played that kind of a shift both against Seager and Heim. And one time, sure enough, in the 5th inning yesterday, Seager grounded out to right field. A 9-3 putout. Anyway, walks here. And it brings up Nathaniel Lowe. Lowe off a great year last year, and today, before the ball game, officially receives his Silver Slugger. Yeah, he's proud of it, man.
He should be.
He should be, is right.
What an amazing award. And we saw him really develop into just such a solid hitter last season. The consistency that he had up at the plate, his ability to hit the ball to all fields.
Oh, hits that ball hard, but got under it a little bit, and Melendez will be able to make the play. 2 out.
Yeah, this was take a look at last night right here. Adolis Garcia just golfs this ball out deep into the seats in left field for his 2nd grand slam, 1st of the year, but his 2nd of his career. I think there's going to be quite a few more before he's done.
Boy, he sure looked like it was business as usual after that one. First pitch on the way from Lyles, and he goes with that breaking ball low and away. 2 outs, Seager at first. Just underway here tonight. Lyles, former Ranger. And he sneaks that one in there. 1-1. Lyles has been around a long time. Drafted by Houston many years ago. He's played with 7 different teams in 12 years in the big leagues. And a breaking ball, he gets Garcia to wave at it for strike 2. Lyles spent the 2020 and 2021 seasons in a Rangers uniform. Bounces that one up there.
Sal Perez showing some agility back there for a big man.
Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Seager had the 1-out walk. He's at first. Long hold by Lyles, and that one bounces up, and this one bounces off of Perez, and there's no play to be had. Seager moves up on the wild pitch.
Corey gets a good jump on this ball. 2nd one in the dirt. Well, that pitch actually bounced in front of home plate. Sal Perez unable to get that big body in front of that ball, and Corey Seager takes off as soon as he sees it kick off to the right of Sal Perez.
Well, now an RBI spot here for Adolis. You see those numbers from last night. Rangers were really locked in offensively. 3-2, and there's a swing and a miss. Lyles gets his first strikeout of the night, and the Rangers strand a man in scoring position. We head to the 2nd here at Globe Life Field. No score.
And an update on Leody Taveras. We talked about him last night. His rehab assignment continues tonight in Round Rock. Actually, they played this afternoon, and Leody made quite the impression, hitting a grand slam. Now, club has maintained they want him to be fully game ready when he returns to Arlington. And the fact that, you know, the guys off the bench have played so well in his stead since opening day, they feel like they don't have to rush him, and there is no need to do so. And so we'll continue to play the waiting game with Leody, but he does look like he's rounding back into form.
It's good news, no doubt. It's a swing and a miss by Pasquantino. Evens the count at 1-1. Back-to-back strikeouts to end last inning for DeGrom. And the right-hander deals low. 2-1.
That last pitch was a changeup from Jacob deGrom, 91 mile an hour. Equivalent to the fastball that we saw from Zach Greinke last night.
This one in the air down the left side and slicing into that corner. And that is a fair ball. And it bounces apparently out of play. So that is a book rule double for Pasquantino.
It didn't look like Bubba quite had a beat on that ball. It looked like there was a little bit of hesitation as he was getting closer and closer to the corner. The ball just fair by about 6 inches.
It's a killer for us when those balls go down into that corner because we can't see from our vantage point. And the first pitch to Olivares is strike one on the slider. Olivares, right-handed hitter, 273 average. Runner out there at second for Kansas City. Throwing that one in tight. The Royals struggled last night when they got runners in scoring position. Grom's 1-1 pitch. And that is off the plate.
I believe they're last in hitting with runners in scoring position for the season. They're third lowest in runs scored as well. So they have just really struggled putting those numbers up on the board.
This one on the ground, right side of the infield, and Semien is there, takes care of Olivares. One away.
It's time now for StatCast powered by Google Cloud. Take a look at Jacob deGrom in that last start against the Baltimore Orioles. He ended up with 25 whiffs. That's a lot of swings and misses, which tells me his stuff was just on point. He used all 4 pitches as well. 4-seam fastball, 12 slider, 11 swings and misses. A couple with the curveball and change.
Well, he kind of set the bar high for this series. There's 101 fouled off by Massey. But then you see the numbers for deGrom at the bottom of your screen. A nearly 42% whiff percentage. That's kind of ridiculous. The 1 strike pitch, and this one on the ground, first base side foul. 0-2 on Massey. So the ground out got Pasquantino to third base. And for Kansas City, they don't know how many opportunities they'll get like this tonight. No doubt Massey wants to do whatever he can to find a way to get that run in. Ball in the air would be the biggest trick for him, but he will strike out swinging. Third strikeout for deGrom.
Well, one thing is about Jacob deGrom, he is not afraid to come right after the hitters. This pitch is right over the center part of the plate, a little bit elevated in the strike zone. But this is the 4-seamer that just has that little bit of extra life that just jumps on a hitter as Massey just swings through it.
Now with 2 gone, Franmil Reyes takes ball 1. Reyes, the DH. Couple of home runs, couple solo home runs this year for Franmil. We saw him last night come in late in the ball game into right field. And that is low. 2-0. Aren't many guys, to be fair, in this lineup who have seen a lot of deGrom over the years. Reyes at least has some familiarity. 1 for 9. With 4 strikeouts. He sends that one foul. It's 2-1. You mentioned the struggles for Kansas City. A 154 average with runners in scoring position. That is bottom in the American League. There have been some offensive issues. There's a swing and a miss. 2-2 the count. Roof open on a Tuesday night here, and the fans, they know what's going to happen here. With 2 strikes, they're looking for that strikeout. Here it comes. And a bouncer third base. Playable for Young. And the inning is over. Leadoff double by Pasquantino doesn't blossom. Royals leave a runner. We played 1.5. No score. Casinos and Resorts game within the game. Look at the Royals. A 179 team average. Not good. But they have a very high exit velocity. On average, nearly 91 miles per hour. Best in the league. Rangers hitting 5th best in the league. But the lowest average exit velocity. You say to yourself, well, none of that makes any sense. Right? I mean, that's the whole thing about exit velocity. The higher the exit velocity, the harder you hit it, the more likely it is to turn into a hit. But that has not been the case here in the very, very early portion of the season.
Well, and certainly for the Kansas City Royals, yes, it's high when they hit it.
Yeah.
But they're just not hitting it very often from what we've seen here in the first game yesterday and in the early parts today. And the Rangers, the low exit velocity, we saw a couple last night. One was, I think, 57 miles an hour, 62 miles an hour, and they were both doubles.
Yeah, that's a good point, too. This ball hit sharply out to center field. Josh Young pedaling hard for second, and he's in there ahead of the throw. A leadoff double.
Good hustle right there from Young. This double is earned right as he comes out of the box. This is a little hanging curveball up and elevated in the strike zone as he shoots this out into the left center field gap, but he puts his head down and gets running. Makes a turn around first base and realizes he's got a chance, and he gets in there pretty easily.
Second double of the year for Young and Jonah Heim. Switching to catcher. Got a bomb yesterday. His first of the year. One strike pitch to him. Outside.
Jonah has really been looking good up at the plate over his last 3 games. He's 5 for 11 with that home run, as you mentioned, and 4 runs scored.
In on him, and he turns out one foul.
Just look at that home run from last night. Take a look at his reaction. When he first did that last night, I was like, oh, he must have just missed it. But no, I was absolutely wrong as that ball went about 8 rows deep in the right center field portion.
He cuts through strike 3 here. And Lyles notches his second strikeout of the night. 1 away.
Lyles come right after him with that fastball, a little elevated in the strike zone at 90 miles an hour, and Jonah just swings right on through it.
All right, so now Jankowski, and fouls off strike 1. Jankowski, 2 more hits yesterday, including one of those softly hit doubles. Also walked, stole a base. But here he is on a 3-game hitting streak. And a turn and a throw back to second. Young back in there easily enough.
Quick spin move by Jordan Lyles. Throws that ball on the opposite side of the bag that Young was diving into.
Close, a little low, 1-1. Jankowski, veteran outfielder, former first-round pick back in 2012. Brought in as a non-roster invitee this year by the Rangers. Made the team out of spring training. And he has contributed, and he flips this one out into left field, and that is a tough play for Olivares, but he handles it nicely for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, diving towards home plate for an outfielder is a very difficult play right here. This ball is sinking fast. He's able to get that glove underneath it before it hits the turf. Seen a couple of stellar defensive plays so far by the Kansas City Royals.
Well, their outfield defense has been as good as there is in the league early on here this year. They came into the game with a +5 defensive runs saved by their outfielders. The only team with more are the Arizona Diamondbacks. This one wrapped up the middle by Brad Miller, and that gets Young to the plate, and the Rangers get that first run of the night. Miller delivers out of the 8th spot in the order.
Brad Miller picking up his 3rd RBI of the season. Big hole over there on the right side of the field. He's able to get on top of this high fastball and shoots it out into the outfield, and Young having plenty of time to score from second base. You can see that big wide gap right there.
So now Bubba Thompson, he shows bunt, fouls that one away. Strike one on Bubba. Now the offense has been rolling lately. Good to see a quick start here tonight.
I like Bubba's thinking right there. They've got the second baseman almost behind the bag, up the middle, that whole right side. All he has to do is bunt it past the pitcher.
Bubba's speed, just put it in play somewhere.
He makes everybody nervous.
He's got a real shot. Lyles huffing and puffing, and the 1-1 pitch. Little tapper back his way off to that third base side. And he'll throw it over to first to get Bubba, but the Rangers get that first run of the night. Young with a leadoff double. Miller brings him home with 2 outs, and the Rangers have a 1-0 lead. And look at the number of sub-200 hitters on this Royals team. Now this is not their lineup, mind you, but they have 9 guys currently below 200. It has been a real struggle these first 11 games, and now this is the 12th game of the year for Kansas City. Kyle Isbell at 160.
Just think about that. 9 out of 14 of their hitting players are under 200, and then there's no wonder why they have 3rd in runs scored. They're last in runners in scoring position. It's tough to win a ball game. But we saw Zach Greinke last night. He came into that game with a 2.38 ERA, and he was 0-2, and I think they only scored 1 run for him in his first 2 starts.
He'll be the best hitter on the team. 1-2 pitch, and this one popped up, foul ground, third base side, and that one just out of reach. On the ground with a big smile on his face.
Here's a look at last night. Andrew Heaney. Boy, was he on point or what? Got it done with his fastball, running it right across the top of the zone. And towards later in the ball game, he started throwing his slider, and he got his last 3 strikeouts with that sharp slider. What a performance by the new left-hander for the Texas Rangers.
Yeah, setting a franchise record, tied an American League record. As DeGrom puts that one in the dirt. Pretty amazing stuff last night from Andrew Heaney. 9 consecutive strikeouts yesterday. That beat Nolan Ryan's previous team mark of 7 in a row. That's one up the middle by Isbell. Kansas City has a base runner. Isbell going for 2, and he gets it. Off the bat, I will say I basically assumed he would take the single, but he hustles out a double.
This is some really good base running by Isbell. This is a hard ground ball right back through the middle to the right of Marcus Semien. At first I thought Marcus might have had a chance to dive for that, maybe knock it down, but it cuts right through the right fielder and center fielder, and Isbell sees an opening, takes it, and he makes it to second base easily.
Second double of the night for Kansas City. Hunter Dozier now, and he takes a slider for strike 1. Oh, good heads up and hustling effort there out of Isbell. A 1-0 Rangers lead. Ground with a long hold. No throw offered to second, but that is a disengagement, so to say, and you only get 2 of those now. per at bat. So Isbell knows that there's less of a likelihood he'll throw over there now. This one in the air down the line, foul.
And tonight we've seen some good base running. Young with a hustle double. Isbell right there with the hustle double. For all those young players out there, young baseball, softball players, it happens coming out of the box. You got to be thinking too right away. And both those guys did just that.
Fairly long hold here. And now time asked for by Dozier. So Dozier has now used his one timeout. And so he can't use that any longer. Has to be ready every pitch. As a fastball misses in. Which means DeGrom, the pitch timer sets at 20 seconds with a man on base. He could get himself positioned, ready to go, and then he could just hold it and make Dozier just stand there. The 1-2. It's a swing and a miss. He strikes him out instead. Fourth strikeout for DeGrom.
This is just a really sharp slider right here from Jacob DeGrom at 93 miles an hour. Now, remember the pitch right before that was 100 miles an hour, pushed him off the plate. Then he comes back on the outer half with that sharp slider. It's so tough to be able to cover one side of the plate against Jacob DeGrom, but trying to cover two is virtually impossible.
It's not the top of the order. Bobby Witt Jr., he took the first pitch he saw today and shot it to fairly deep center. Now a turn and a throw back to Semien, who is nowhere near the bag. And Jacob, again, with a smile on his face. Semien, that might have startled him a little bit.
They're still young together, right?
Yeah.
Still learning each other.
1-1 the count now on Witt.
You know, as you start to play throughout the season, you start understanding each other. Just a look, right? For Marcus Semien right there, a little bit surprised by it.
This one just passed him into right field. Isbell rounds third. Here comes a throw from Garcia. It's high. And Witt will go to second base. The RBI single ties the game. And with good base running, Witt Jr. with the potential go-ahead run in scoring position.
There's a slider right here. Good piece of hitting by Bobby Witt Jr. Hits it a little bit off the end of the bat to the left of Marcus Semien. That ball just gets past him. Adolis Garcia comes up throwing. Misses the cutoff man right here, which allows Bobby Witt Jr. to slide into second base and into scoring position.
And now MJ Melendez. And he'll take the breaking ball for a strike. Melendez struck out looking in the first inning. 1-1. It's quickly 0-2. And you see that note there about Melendez. He has struck out a lot already this year. This is not an ideal matchup for him. I believe he's seen 5 pitches so far. Struck out on 3 pitches in the first. And he strikes out on 3 pitches in the third. 5th punch out tonight for DeGrom.
Well, we knew coming in against the Kansas City Royals that Jacob DeGrom was probably going to strike out quite a few of the Royals. A young team that does chase quite a bit. This pitch is outside of the strike zone. Melendez unable to catch up to it.
So first pitch here to Perez popped up first base side, playable for Nathaniel Lowe. He'll take it right into the dugout. Inning over. Royals got a run though. The double by Isbell, the RBI single by Witt. So we are tied at 1 going to the bottom of the third. We're going to keep it here between innings. We'll have a special guest for you. It's not every day that we get to catch up with the manager, the pitching coach, and today it will be pitching coach Mike Maddox. He'll have his word with Jacob DeGrom first, and and then we can chat with him a little bit about how things have gone for his starters so far. And our T-Mobile coverage cam will take a look at what we've seen so far tonight from DeGrom.
And we've seen some good stuff right here. Jacob DeGrom, in his last start, he had punched out 11. Kansas City Royals is a team that will be swinging and missing quite a bit. Jacob DeGrom has 4 punch-outs already here this evening, and more to come.
All right, so we mentioned Mike Maddox will be joining us, and he is on the headset now. And thanks for joining us, Mike. So far, so good for Jacob DeGrom. No real big surprise there. Did you anticipate any difference in approach tonight from Kansas City?
No, I didn't. We saw these guys right before we started the season. We know they were an aggressive hitting ball club. Everybody swings early, trying to get on it. And with Jake DeGrom, you kind of, they're not going to give him a strike. They're going to get all 3 swings that they can get. So we're well prepared. He's executing pretty well. Unfortunately, ground ball found a hole there, went for a double, and another guy did a good piece of staying inside one.
So, Mike, as you got the job here with the Texas Rangers and you looked at that new starting rotation that you have, what were your thoughts?
Wow. That's all I can say. CY had a vision and, believed in the vision, and then we go out and we get DeGrom, Eovaldi, Haney, and some others, and it's kind of been utopic. It's a pretty good starting rotation on paper, but they've taken it out on the field and done well.
Well, it's looked pretty good so far. Do you have any words there for Jacob as it came off?
Keep plugging, man. Keep plugging. He's going to be fine. That's going to be all they get.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
You bet.
All right, Mike Maddox, Rangers pitching coach, taking a few moments for us there. And so far, so good indeed for DeGrom. And now we'll see if the offense can get a little something going here against Lyles. Semien, Seager, Lowe, top of the order. And that's buried a little bit too much on that breaking ball from Lyles. Semien flew out in the first inning, 0 for 1. It looked like it might get down off the bat. It looked like it might be an extra base hit, but a spectacular diving catch by Isbell in center field robbed him of that extra base hit.
What made that play so special was Isbell was shading him towards right center field, as he is right now. That'll be about 15 steps to the right of center. He went a long way to get that ball.
1-2 pitch. And this one hit more at where Isbell was positioned, but it drops in front of him. So Semien is on with a leadoff single in the third.
When Marcus goes up the middle to the big parts of the yard, I think he is so much better at being able to square that baseball up as his approach goes. Sometimes if he gets a little too pull happy, unable to cover that part of the plate.
So now Seager, and he hits one on the ground, shortstop, and Witt had it, and then he lost it. It just slipped right out of his bare hand as he made the transition, and Seager has a base hit.
That ball off the bat of Corey Seager, hit at 92.4 miles per hour. Hit on the button to the backhand of Bobby Witt Jr. He had a play similar to this last night, and he was unable to come up with it. Witt going down on one knee to try to catch this. Just unable to make that transfer.
Big start to the inning. A couple of men on for Nathaniel Lowe. And he takes outside, ball 1. I got a little fooled in the first inning. I thought Lowe might have made pretty good contact on the ball he put in play, but he got underneath it. And it ended up just a fly out to right field. We saw him square up a ball yesterday for a double. Currently on a little 6-game hitting streak. 2-0 pitch, and this ball hit hard out into right field. That'll be down for extra bases. Semien scores easily. Seager around third, they'll stop him. It's an RBI double for Nathaniel Lowe, and the Rangers retake the lead.
Well, when you talk about hitting with runners in scoring position, Nathaniel Lowe is the best Ranger on the squad. Coming into this at-bat, hitting .417. This time just rips the ball down the right field line, allowing Marcus Semien to score. putting himself and Corey Seager in scoring position.
We saw Seager thrown out at the plate. Was that yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. And that ball was, it looked like maybe even still on the warning track. When Beasley threw up that stop sign at third, a step or so before Seager got there. So they didn't want to risk sending him this time. It gives Adolis Garcia a chance to drive in some more runs. And they've got one right here, a high fly ball right field. Melendez tagging Seager. Here he comes. The throw is up the line. Seager is in. And so Garcia adds an RBI to his tally, his 10th of the year. And it's now a 3-1 Rangers lead.
And for Beasley right there, not sending him early, knowing that you've got Adolis Garcia coming up to the plate, one of the better RBI guys on this ball club. He hits it deep enough down that right field line where Corey Seager ends up scoring pretty easily. Standing up, the Rangers continue to add on here in the bottom of the third.
So Josh Young, who doubled earlier, and he rips this one into left field. That one gets down, heading to third base low. He had to hold up for a moment, make sure that one got down. But Young moves him up on the base hit. That's the 4th hit of the inning.
He has a base runner. The toughest one to read off the bat is the line drive, because you just never know if it's high enough to get over the infield. But this time Nathaniel Lowe has to wait till that ball hits the ground. You see him hesitate there and take a couple of hop, skips, and a jump. But he eventually gets on over to third. It's a good base runner.
So a visit for Jordan Lyles. There's been a lot of action in this third inning. So a chance just to break things up a moment for him. He's got men on the corners and Jonah Heim coming up. We've seen this Rangers offense when they all start contributing the way they are so far here tonight. It just steamrolls at times. It does seem like an offense capable of putting up big numbers. And a bouncer foul by Jonah. I mean, Heim, that's a great note right there. 5 hits in the last 12 at-bats for him. It's a great stretch. He had 2 hits last night, including a home run. Pitch from Lyles. This one on the ground, second base, and that could be 2. Witt on to first in time, and it ends the inning. The Rangers will have to settle for the 2 runs. 4th inning coming up tonight. Rangers on top 3-1.
Royals as we head to the top of the 4th, and when you look at what this Rangers rotation did the second time through, quite different from the first time, and what a difference one round through the rotation makes. When you look at those numbers, it really is impressive. A 2.3 ERA between the 5 of them. Jacob deGrom continuing that tonight. And you know, we talked about the new guys kind of scuffling their first time out, and if you think about it, they wanted to impress. They wanted to impress the home crowd, their first time, you know, teammates. They wanted, maybe we're pressing a little bit too much. They are human after all, and so it seems like these guys have settled in, and hopefully that trend will continue.
You take a look at that rotation, and you just imagine when they all kind of get rolling. That's a very daunting starting 5.
When you've got a true ace, you always think of him as the guy who can stop any skids, any tough stretches. The 3-0 pitch, and there's a strike to Pasquantino. But in the Rangers' case, I do feel like all 5 are capable of being that guy, right? At any time, they could absolutely turn things back around. This one fouled off, and it's a full count now.
You take a look at what Heaney did last night, right? You're thinking,
oh,
gosh, he kind of looked like an ace last night.
Sure did. And that was a lot of the comments you'd hear today down on the field. It was like, well, if that's a number 5 starter on this team. Fair point. 3-2. And this one in the air, out into left field, and that one is trapped by Bubby. Doesn't know where it is. Fortunately, kicks it. And that's got to be just a helpless, horrifying feeling when you have no idea where the ball is. And that's a base hit, a double for Pasquantino.
Yeah, first glance, it looked like he gets this ball, but it hits right off the end of the glove and goes straight down as he slides over the top. just hits right off the tip. You can see how easily it was for him to lose sight of where that ball ended up going.
Popped up. Left side. Long way to go there for Seager, but had plenty of time to get to it. And so Olivares is the first out here in the 4th inning. Well, so let's see here. I'm looking at the doubles today for Kansas City. You know, it's a little bit reminiscent of opening day when the Phillies had those back-to-back triples and racked up whatever it was, 6 extra base hits, which had never been done against DeGrom. And so many of them were soft contact. These have not been belted by any means. You know, they're just.
Yeah, they have not been a, you know, we talked about the exit velocity for the Kansas City Royals. These balls have not been hit hard, but have just been placed in the right place.
It's the old hit them where they ain't. Willie Keeler. So Pasquantino at second. 1-1 on the way to Massey, and that's strike 2. Royals are 1 for 15 in the series with runners in scoring position. Goes back to the point you were making earlier. They have the lowest average in the American League with runners in scoring position, and that's wild.
DeGrom with back-to-back changeups against Massey. See what he comes with here.
And with the heat, stays 1-2. Interesting strategy by the Royals today, by the way. Their first bus to the ballpark left the hotel at 3:30. 1-2 pitch, and that's down low and stays near the plate. Now, for a lot of people, like, oh, okay, 3:30. What does that mean? What it means is normally the last bus for a 7 o'clock game, and for most big league teams, is 4 o'clock. And no one's ever on that bus, just the broadcasters. 2-2. They did not take batting practice today. They showed up late. And their manager just felt like, look, let's just
an interesting strategy.
Take it easy today. No pressure, basically. It is interesting. 3-2. And there's a swing and a miss. Massey strikes out.
Now, of course, that doesn't mean that they didn't hit under and inside the tunnel, as we see another changeup from Jacob DeGrom. Look at the great movement of that pitch, falling down and away from Massey for strike 3. Tough to cover 99 and 100. And then that great changeup at 90 miles an hour.
Franmil Reyes. And he'll take a fastball in.
Most good changeups, too, typically are anywhere from 10 to 12 miles an hour slower than the fastball. So, you know, you see 91 miles an hour change. That's too hard. Well, not when you're throwing 100. Because you want that deception of that speed. Because once you're ready to hit 100, you're getting it geared up early. And then when he pulls that string on a 91 mile an hour fastball, you get the results that we saw from Massey.
2-0 here. Reyes takes low and outside. Ball 3. 2 outs. Runner at second. Top of the 4th inning. 6 strikeouts so far tonight for DeGrom. And Reyes going right after it at 3-0. Three ball counts so far tonight for DeGrom. They've all come this inning. Here's a 3-1. And that is strike 2. And Reyes not in love with that one. That was a borderline pitch in terms of location.
DeGrom has gotten that pitch a couple of times on his glove side.
That's 3-2, and this one out to right field, coming on for Garcia. He had it. He couldn't squeeze it, though. That ball is live. Pasquantino scores. The throw to second is in time. time, and they get Franmil Reyes. The run counts. He scored just before the out at second, but the inning is over. Well, that was a weird one. It looked like he had it, but they get the out ultimately. It's 3-2.
This is a line drive off the bat of Reyes to Garcia out there in right field. At first glance, it looked like he had it in his glove, but never really does control it. You can see it hits his palm, hits the web, but never has control in that glove. Typically, as an outfielder, you want to catch it right in that web where that ball gets stuck. But Garcia stays with the play and ends up nailing Reyes at second base.
He picks up an outfield assist, but one he wasn't really looking for on the play. He was hoping just to make the play on the ball and then have the inning be done. Bottom of the fourth, and the 1-1, Jankowski fouls it away for strike 2. Looks like they want it up, and Lyles delivers low and in. Now, it could be just a matter of deception, or it could be that Lyles missed his spot badly there. He's got the bottom third of the order this inning. This one far off by Jankowski to keep the at-bat going, 2-2. Took a little while for Jankowski to begin getting opportunities. Well, he hits this ball hard in the air to center, and Isbell is there. 1 away. Gives us a moment now for Choctaw Casinos and Resorts.
Fun, games, relaxation, or excitement. We've got all your bases covered at Choctaw Casinos and Resorts.
1 away. Here's Brad Miller, the designated hitter. And he takes ball 1. Final year of a 2-year deal for Miller. He delivered a big RBI single in the second inning. That tied the game. And he watches outside, 2-0. Miller's now 33 years old, well-traveled, and well-liked everywhere he's been. He has fans, seems like every clubhouse, every team, every town. And he pops this one up behind the plate. Be a souvenir. 2-1.
He came up as a shortstop with the Seattle Mariner organization and quickly kind of transitioned into a really high-quality utility player.
He's got power in that bat. And he hits this ball sharply, but on a line to Massey. 2 gone. And we check in with Emily.
Well, a really cool story. Obviously bad news that Jake Odorizzi is out for the season, will not pitch for the Rangers. But Nathan Eovaldi talked about how Jake Odorizzi talked about how when Nathan Eovaldi was out for the season in 2017 with the Rays, he stuck around. He rehabbed with the team. He was able to be around, offer, advice and just be around the guys. It helped him stay engaged. And Jake says that's what he hopes to do with the Rangers, is to stick around as much as possible, to be a sounding board for the young pitchers, help out as much as he can. And it helps him also to, feel like he's part of the team. Val, more than anybody, when you go on the injured list, you're like, you don't really feel like you're a part of things. And so he wants to be around as much as he can to feel like he's still part of this thing. Yeah,
oftentimes that IL could be the invisible list when you're on the unable to go out there and play and you can't contribute. You kind of feel like you're invisible out there. But I love the fact that Jake Odorizzi, as a veteran player, now understands, because other people have poured into him when he was younger, and now he's thinking, okay, I don't have any day-to-day responsibilities, and maybe I can help somebody like other people helped me early in my career. So I just love that perspective of a veteran player.
1 from Lyles, and Bubba Thompson lifts it into center field. How about that? A quick 1-2-3 for Jordan Lyles, the first one of those tonight for the veteran pitcher. We go to the 5th inning tonight. It's a 3-2 game. By Choctaw Casinos and Resorts. Oh, one-run game here tonight. Roof open at Globe Life Field. Jacob deGrom on the mound for the Rangers. And that is where you start telling the story of tonight's game and any game he starts. I mean, he is the most dynamic pitcher in the game. And I don't know how close there is to a second place in that regard. Eyes tend to turn right to the mound on a night where he's scheduled to pitch. He has the 8th and 9th place hitters for the Royals here in the 5th, and then back up top again, 3rd time through. Chopper left side. Nice easy hop for Young, and he fires it over to get Isbell. One away.
Yeah, when you watch Jacob deGrom, there's like a fluidity in his throwing motion. It's effortless, it's powerful, but the biggest thing about Jacob deGrom is the command that he has of all of his pitches. He can throw any one of his pitches and just hit that pinpoint spot that he wants. And when he's on, when he's healthy, I don't think there's any question he is the best in the game.
Goes to work on Dozier here, and he gets a little tapper by the mound. Easy play for Marcus Semien. 2 quick ground ball outs. And that's always pleasant too when he can keep that pitch count in check. He's at 65 and needs 1 more out to get through the 5th inning. He threw 92 pitches his last time out. So no telling how deep he could go tonight, especially as aggressive as Kansas City appears to be this evening.
Well, that's one thing that we have seen with Jacob too. Even when he strikes out a lot of players, he still is very efficient with the number of pitches that he throws. So in that last game against the Baltimore Orioles, he threw 92 pitches and struck out 11 guys.
Right. That's not easy to do. 1-1 on Bobby Witt Jr., who has flied out and singled tonight. Strike 2. And normally when you're striking out a lot of guys, that pitch count's getting up there in a hurry.
But what that tells you is he doesn't mess around. He's not trying to pitch around the hitter. He's coming right after you.
2-2 to Witt. Lanky right-hander, long arms. And it's a buggy whip, the 2-2 pitch. And that one fouled over to the right side.
Here's a look at some of the past performances of Jacob deGrom. When he has over 10 strikeouts, you can see that right there. Against Baltimore, and only 92 pitches for 1186 back against Atlanta.
Well, this one lined up the middle, but Semien is there for it. Well, a 10-pitch 5th inning for deGrom. Yeah, it scared him a little bit. Halfway there tonight, 3-2.
We're going to take a look at StatCast right here. This is the fastballs from Jacob deGrom and Jordan Lyles. Jacob hitting 101.2 and Lyle at 91.8. That 91.8 is very similar to the changeup that Jacob deGrom throws. 10 miles slower than his fastball.
Yeah, which is also interesting to think of it in those terms, what it must feel like as a hitter then. This one in the air and out into short left field. Bobby Witt Jr. got to the spot, and Semien turned away to start the 5th inning. Look at our TXU power stats here. Corey Seager last year in March, or rather in April, hit 256 and had that 710 OPS. Not a terrible start, but not the start he was hoping for. This year, boy, what a difference. 921 OPS so far. And he takes in for a ball. Today, he's reached base twice. A walk and an infield hit. And he takes inside. 2-0.
Yeah, coming into today, the last 4 games, Corey Seager's on-base percentage was .632, and that's gone up.
This one lined out into left field, and there's nobody home with the weird shift. Seager into second. Uh-oh, he's pulled up. And he's grabbing the back of that leg. That is a bad sign. Oh, no. He was no doubt thinking about more than just the double, and he'll be done tonight. Ugh. Why, he was almost to second base, and he must have been gearing up for the triple, and it just put too much on it. Josh Smith will head out there to second base. Oh, boy.
Yeah, this is definitely something you do not want to see from Corey Seager. His ball shot down the left field line, and take a look at the outfield. I guarantee you he's thinking, okay, I'm trying to get a triple right here as he's coming around first base. You'll see him about midway through. All of a sudden he starts pulling up. Probably a hamstring is what I'm guessing, depending. You can see where he's starting to grab it.
You know, inside, behind the ropes kind of secret for you. We're never supposed to speculate, but that's pretty obvious. Pretty obvious. Yeah, that is a bummer, man. We'll wait and get the full scoop on that. Of course, no doubt be an evaluation tonight, tomorrow. For now, Smith the man at second, and that one grooved in there for a strike to Nathaniel Lowe. 1-1. Well, that
certainly kind of puts a damper on things, doesn't it?
It does. Especially because Seager had just really started to heat up. That's tight. 2-1 to Nathaniel. Lowe had an RBI double in the 3rd inning. He's 1 for 2. And he hits this one a ton in the air. Center field. Isbell, though, now circles underneath it to make the catch. Smith tags. He'll advance to 3rd, but there are 2 gone. And here comes Adolis Garcia. Well, it underscores the importance of Josh Smith's spot on this roster. Josh is the backup shortstop. Remember, he was hit in the face a little over a week ago. It was 8 days ago. He was hit in the face with an 89-mile-an-hour fastball, and it wasn't real clear what that was going to mean for him. Adolis Garcia takes Lowe away. He bounced right back. He was fine. I say fine. He bounced right back. He might argue how fine he was. 1-0. And this one on the ground, shortstop. Witt is there. And his throw is in time. And so the Rangers leave a man at 3rd base. 5 innings in the books. Rangers with a 1-run lead. Hey, kids 13 and under can join the Junior Rangers, presented by Golden Chicks. Just go to Rangers.com/Junior Rangers and sign up today. $25. Jacob deGrom back out to work here in the 6th inning, and his first pitch lifted to center field. That chases Jankowski back a few steps. But Melendez retired for out number 1. Well, we can slide over a moment now for Rally House.
Play ball, Texas. Shop the latest in Rangers style with your favorite brands and throwback designs. Rally House has gear for every fan.
That one away. And deGrom goes right to work. Perez pops it up. First base side, but that one will twist away up into the seats. Strike 1.
Yeah, we anticipated the Royals swinging early in the count, and we've been seeing that all night long. Jacob deGrom now, I believe, just with 73 pitches here in the top of the 6th inning.
One strike offering on the way, and a swing and a miss. They didn't make him work. What was it, third inning? Or fourth inning, 20 pitches. Other than that, a pretty standard workload. And there's a swing and a miss. He hits Parrish for the second time tonight, his 7th strikeout.
We've seen quite a few of the Kansas City Royals chasing balls out of the zone. This is one of them. Good fastball at 99 miles an hour, but 2 or 3 inches off the plate and gets Sal Perez swinging and missing.
So 2 quick outs, and here is Pasquantino, and he takes strike 1. As DeGrom just kind of eased that slider in the side door. Pasquantino, a couple of doubles, and he bounces it up the middle. Backhand attempt by DeGrom, and he'll have no play. All this Pasquantino does is hit the cover off the ball.
His ball not hit very hard. Jacob DeGrom probably wishes he didn't try to get this, as Josh Smith was right back up the middle. Would have been an easy play for Josh, especially with Pasquantino running.
So he's 3 for 3 tonight. And now first pitch, that one catches a corner on Olivares. One the count. So left hamstring tightness for Seager, and they will continue to evaluate him. So that's an early diagnosis, and a fairly obvious one from what we saw. The 1-1 pitch. It's off the plate.
So the hope is it is just tightness, that there was no tears, no pulls.
Well, that would just be amazing if that were the case. That would be one of the greatest strokes of good fortune in a long time. The 2-1. That did not look right based on what we saw. The reaction was a little concerning as he came around first. DeGrom wants a new baseball, but we'll wait and see. Man at first base, not a real threat to go anywhere. The 2-2 pitch, and he got him swinging. Olivares strikes out 8. Punch out tonight for Jacob DeGrom.
Jacob DeGrom just rearing back and throwing some heat. It's strikeout number 8 against the Royals.
Go to the bottom of the 6th inning, and Val, yeah, a little more history tonight. We saw some yesterday and seeing more of it tonight. DeGrom now at 26 strikeouts in his first 3 starts. And the first pitch of this inning, Josh Young hammers it to center field, but Isbell had it measured. 1 away. So 26 strikeouts in his first 3 starts. He ties Nolan Ryan, who did that in 1989. But it doesn't look like he's coming out. Chance to put himself atop that list.
And if he can get 2 more strikeouts, it'll be his 60th time that he has struck out 10 or more.
Breaking ball from Lyles in there for a strike. I'm 0 for 2, and he takes that one off the plate. Jonah comes in swinging it pretty well, though, a 292 average, and he gets another curveball from Lyles. He's done that a lot tonight. One-two pitch and a fastball swung on and missed. So Heim strikes out for a second time tonight. Jordan Lyles has pitched well. Meanwhile, yesterday with that big win by the Rangers in the opener, They got Bruce Bochy to 2009 wins as a manager and officially put Leo Durocher in the rearview mirror. Boch, 11th all time, and right behind Walter Alston, one-time Dodger manager. And he will catch Alston here in the not too distant future.
That's what I love about baseball history, though, right? A guy like Bruce Bochy, he's put a lot of time into this game with a lot of different teams. And you start seeing him climb that name, and we start passing names like Leo Durocher and Walter Alston. Great managers of the past. I know you're a big baseball historian.
I love it. It's the best part of what we do. All those connections. There's a hard ground ball to shortstop. But Jankowski retired quickly. Boy, Fred Lyles starting to settle in just a little bit here. 6 innings in the books tonight. Rangers up by 1.
So you think you can hit, huh? So take a look at this. Jacob deGrom. He's coming after you. Same quality, consistent release point, but are you looking fastball top right, or are you looking slider down and in? Well, sometimes you just swing over the top or right down the middle, and you got to pick one. You got to guess, 50-50. I'm not a betting man, but, it's not blackjack. What's the roulette table, red or black?
Yeah.
Pick one or the other.
Yeah, I'm looking lost. That's straight up sorcery right there. This one lifted into short center. Jankowski, great closing speed, gets to it and takes one away from Matsy, one away. Well, there you go. The strikeouts are great, Val, but the no walks might be even better.
And we've seen them just all around the plate. A lot of the balls that have been hit, that have found fair territory, have not been hit hard by the Royals. But anytime you can put up a 0 in that walk category, you're way ahead of the game. One of the best parts of Jacob deGrom's game is his command of all of his pitches. He does throw strikes. He makes the hitters swing the bat. And more often than not, they swing and miss.
Yes, they do. About nearly, 50% of the time. Whatever it is, 42, 43%. There's a swing and a miss by Reyes. And that just misses a little bit low. His last time out had the 11 strikeouts and was just overpowering. Today 8 strikeouts. But it hasn't felt quite as dominant, let's say, as it was that last time out.
Yeah, when you think of the outing that he had against the Orioles, he had 25 swings and misses. Tonight, 17. Still a lot.
Bouncer up the middle, and that one is through. Reyes is on for the second time tonight. He settles in over there at first. We scoot over and make a little room for Jack in the Box.
Remember, 2 tacos a day keeps the hangry away. Download the Jack app and get them for 99 cents.
Reyes comes off and makes way for Eaton, pinch running for him. We saw Eaton yesterday both in right field and on the pitcher's mound. And so today, you got a pinch run. I mean, is there anything this guy can't do? He also got his first hit of the season.
Can he catch? That's what I want to know.
Whoa, let's not get crazy. There's a first pitch fastball for a strike to Isbell. Top of the 7th inning, a 1-run lead. And there's 100 just off the outside. 1-1. Jonathan Hernandez getting ready for the Rangers. So deGrom, he's about, this next pitch will match the number of pitches he threw his last start. Foul ball takes the count to 1-2. My guess would be, even if you were to, let's say, get a double play ground ball right here, Val is probably done. Right?
Yep. That last pitch, he matched his total against the Baltimore Orioles. And you were thinking, you know, maybe in his third start, maybe he gets stretched out to 100. But he's right about there now.
I mean, I don't think he's in danger of being lifted. Long hold. Runner goes. The pitch is high. Throw down to second. A good one. Oh, and Eaton got in there. The call on the field safe. And Josh Smith saying, hang on. You guys want to check upstairs real quick on that.
He may have missed his arm. Right here. He looks like he... Oh, no, he did get that jersey. Do you see that jersey? If we could take it back.
This is going to be perfect right here. You're going to see it.
See his hand pulls up?
Get the jersey.
He gets the jersey before that left hand gets in there.
I think so. Now, we'll see how clear that is. Back in New York to replay once again. Yeah, I think
he got him.
It's only the second challenge.
They should let us just do that. Why go back to New York?
Yeah.
Just let the broadcasters handle this.
Daves, what did you guys
watch this? Right there. Boom.
A thumb.
There's always a hesitation for the runner, right? When you're diving head first, you kind of pull that hand back because you're going in hard and you're kind of afraid of, you know, my fingers, my digits. I don't want to break something.
Right.
And you saw that there with Eaton. There's a slight kind of hesitation right before he touches the bag.
We're looking at Ron Kolpa. He is our crew chief. He's also the second base umpire. The crew chief, no matter where he is on the field, he gets the great pleasure of announcing to the crowd what the ruling is from replay back in New York. I've never gotten the sense from the umpires that they love the talking part. Yeah, I think you got it.
The only issue, this might be the best look right there. It's
the call on the field stands. The runner is safe. Texas loses their challenge.
All right, so and that, you know, the verbiage
there. Come on, New York.
Come on, New York. Let's go. So stands, which means that the video evidence wasn't conclusive either way.
You almost had to look at two different angles, see when that jersey was moved, right? And then take the look of the second angle.
It looked like the jersey was tight though, right?
Yeah.
So it didn't have the easy flap look to it. This one out into center field. Well, that's carrying pretty well. Jankowski out there in front of that 410 marker makes the catch. Tagging at second, Eaton, and he'll advance. But there are two gone. You know what I mean? If he's wearing just because of the way the slide went, it tightened up a little bit. But if it's looser, right, you can see it move. That would have been a lot easier.
Well, from the high center field camera, you saw the jersey shaking, right? When the tag was applied. And then from the other side, you didn't see it because it was taut. But he got him. He got him. We are very definitive about our call.
Yeah. We're not wavering on this one as Mike Maddox heads out to have a quick word. 17,760, by the way, our Tuesday evening crowd. That's not bad on a Tuesday night. Out here to see Jacob deGrom perform. And, you know, I mean, that's like it's like seeing a virtuoso performance when you have the opportunity. You want to come out and catch it. And so fans made the effort here on a Tuesday night. Jacob's next start will likely come in Houston, which will be our first series on the road. Hunter Dozier. Swing through strike one. We'll see. I mean, I suppose I don't want to. It's not my job to make the rotation. I got enough to do up here. One strike pitch. That's outside. But you could see with an off day, if you wanted to pitch him against Houston, you could. Just depends on how much they want to tweak things. 1-1. There's a strike.
He's gotten that pitch off the plate a few times here tonight. See if he goes back to it one more time.
1-2, and there's his 9th strikeout of the night. He gets Dozier swinging. That's probably it for deGrom. A 9-strikeout effort, and he preserves the 1-run lead.
Jacob deGrom slams the door here against the Kansas City Royals with a runner on third with a punch out against Hunter Dozier.
Well, we started the night talking about starting pitching, and here we are still talking about great starting pitching. Jacob deGrom, really good night tonight, 9 strikeouts. And the Rangers take a 3-2 lead to the bottom of the 7th inning. No walks, 7 real good innings tonight by the Rangers right-hander. And Miller takes upstairs, it's 2-0.
Yeah, deGrom going 7 innings here this evening. The furthest he's gone so far in all of his 3 starts.
Lyles trying to match him in terms of innings, and he misses with that one. It's 3-0. And a 4-pitch walk, so he puts Miller on to start the 7th. Check in with Emily.
I'm not sure if you know what time it is, but I do. It's Chevy Under the Hood time. And tonight we find the star of last night's show, Mr. Andrew Keeney. What he does to pass time on the plane? Play a little poker, favorite food, pizza, and what's the favorite topping on that favorite food? Buffalo chicken. I like him mixing it up. And if it were me, I'd dip it in ranch, Dave Raymond.
No.
I don't know if I've ever had buffalo chicken. I like buffalo chicken.
You should try it, and you
Like
should try dipping it in ranch. Wow.
I do like buffalo chicken wings, boneless. I prefer.
You're a boneless guy.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'll eat the ones I like.
Val, those aren't wings. If they're boneless, they're not wings.
Yeah, those
they're
are
glorified nuggets.
Those are what we call
The
tendies in my house. Val likes his tendies. No big deal. That one's just off the plate. Be honest. Is it?
Come on, I'm from New York.
Is it
buffalo chicken on pizza? Really?
You do not have to talk to me about that. I am out on buffalo chicken on the pizza. 2-0. So you're going to get me started here. When it comes to food, right, there are a handful of things that are just perfect as they are, right? The peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
So good.
It's really, like, we can just leave that alone, right?
A little milk.
Yeah. 2-1. For me, the 2-2, apparently. Bubba strikes out. 1 away. Brownies. Brownies don't need any embellishments. Keep your M&Ms and your chocolate chips out of my brownies.
And some cold milk.
Cold milk, thank you. Pizza. No pepperoni, sausage, mushrooms, some veggies. This one lined into left. Base hit. Headed to third is Miller. They're going to wave him. He will receive a throw, but it won't be anywhere close. All the way from first base. Miller comes in on the Semien double, and that's a huge insurance run in the 7th inning.
Marcus Semien comes up big right here, getting an insurance run for the Rangers. He rips his ball right down the left field line. Miller on his horse all the way from first base. You saw the Royals execute a very good relay play last night. Tonight, no dice. Brad Miller slides across home. The 4th run for the Texas Rangers.
That's going to be it for Jordan Lyles. He just ran out of gas a little bit in the 7th. Rangers up by 2. Scott and White Health, changing healthcare for the better. And by Choctaw Casinos and Resorts. All right, just enough offense so far tonight for the Rangers, up 4-2. Marcus Semien out at second base in scoring position. How about the base running of Brad Miller? All the way from first. Nicely done. Amir Garrett. Big, hard throwing lefty. Checks in here. Josh Smith.
stands in, and in his first at bat of the day, takes inside for ball. Smith came in as a pinch runner for Corey Seager in the 5th inning when Seager left with tightness in his left hamstring. And that fastball a little bit up, 2-0.
The Royals have a couple of hard throwing lefties down in the pen to go along with Amir Garrett. Aroldis Chapman.
And apparently Chapman has got some of that elite velocity back again. He's throwing 103 and change. Whereas that had started to tick down just a little bit in recent years. He got back after it this offseason. So we got the old velocity of Chapman back. And there's a good fastball in there for a strike. 3-1 to Josh Smith. Smith's been putting up a pretty good fight in the batter's box lately. And it's a full count. So yeah, the Royals, they've got some guys who can bring it a little bit in their bullpen. The key for them will be getting to the bullpen in ball games where that will be relevant. It is here tonight because it's just a 2-run game. And that one misses. Just pulled it a little bit off the plate. Smith is on, and the Rangers have a couple of base runners here with 1 out. And it brings up Nathaniel Lowe. Lowe already with an RBI double tonight, as he did yesterday.
Nathaniel last year really proved to this organization that he can hit both righties and lefties. Had a lot of success. Very high OPS against left-handers back in 2022.
Garrett's a big fella, 6'5", 245. And he pumps that one in on the corner.
That's the same pitch that we saw DeGrom get a few times. That pitch in off, actually off the plate.
Yeah.
So he has been consistent back there with that call.
Lowe takes strike 2. A run in the inning. And a chance to add to that now as the Rangers are into that Kansas City bullpen. Semien at second, Smith at first. Both can run. 1-2, and Lowe takes it low. Well, that's where Nathaniel does his best work, is down low. I mean, he generates a lot of his big power. Of course, that's true of a lot of left-handed hitters. That's outside. Full count. Garrett walking away. He just walked Smith a moment ago. And he's now gone to 3-2 on Nathaniel.
I wasn't sure if he was upset that the umpire didn't call that a strike or with his own command. Yeah.
Payoff. And this one is popped up behind the plate. That is a little late finding it, but he gets to his spot and he makes the play. And Lowe is the second out of the inning.
With the count full, he throws his fastball a little bit up, elevated in the strike zone. Nathaniel hits a high pop up. Garcia trying to run. Oh, look at the can right there. That spray pine tar. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Have you? A replacement. What, he puncture it with his spikes?
With his spikes.
That's great. There again is that call just a little bit off the plate. Strike 1 to Adolis. 0 for 2 with a sac fly. Esquantino well off the line at first and in. And Garrett, just watching him here in the 7th inning. I mean, he falls all over the place with each delivery. I figure that'd be hard to maintain much in the way of real pinpoint command. 1-1. And there's a bouncer left side. Witt fields it cleanly, and a good throw gets Garcia. The inning is done. Rangers do add a run, however. 8th inning coming up here tonight with the Rangers on top 4-2.
Diagnosis. Tonight is all about Jacob deGrom following up a great outing against the Baltimore Orioles with another outstanding one here tonight. He went 7 innings, gave up just 7 hits, 2 runs, no walks, and punched out 9 against his Kansas City Royal Ball Club. Leaves the game with a lead. Rangers are hoping to close this one out for Jacob deGrom. On the mound for the Texas Rangers is Jonathan Hernandez. Hernandez on the season is pitching 4 1/3 innings. He's got an ERA of 2.08, 4 strikeouts, and opponent's hitting a measly 0.77 against Hernandez.
All right, so first man up. We have not had many of these spots. In fact, this may be the first where we have a really close game late innings where the Rangers lead and they use the bullpen to try and shut it down. Bouncer shortstop with a long throw, can't get the first in time. Bobby Witt Jr., he can move a little bit, beats it out for an infield hit.
Smith gets this to his backhand right here. He ends up just planting and trying to one-hop it over there, but comes up a little short. The ball bounces a couple of times, and with the speed of Bobby Witt Jr., no chance to get him.
Hernandez off the plate to MJ Melendez, who's 0 for 3. They had a great start for this bullpen this year. I think they have exceeded expectations to this point of the season. 2-0. And now we'll see if it can execute in a close and late spot like this. You'd figure Hernandez here, Leclerc in the 9th would be the ideal setup. The 2-0. And that's outside. Jonathan able to get back with the team last season, which was critical, coming off surgery, and performed well. The 3-0, that is in there for a strike. Come back from Tommy John surgery. Had a 2.97 ERA last season, and he misses there, ball 4. So an infield hit and a walk. Not the way he wanted to get this inning started. All right, let's check in with Emily.
Well, it's been a little bit difficult to figure out the moves Bruce Bochy is going to make, both for the reason that, we haven't seen a ton of close games with this team, and then 2, because he's expressed the fact that he likes the fluidity of the bullpen, and they've had a tremendous amount of success. And so he feels like he can call on anyone at any given time, regardless of the situation, what inning they're in, runners on, clean inning, all that kind of stuff. He likes to have those options, but it has become a little bit more difficult to guess what moves Boch will be making.
Yeah, he's been one step ahead at every spot, and right now Will Smith is loosening out there. And when you look at the bench for Kansas City, Jackie Bradley Jr., Nicky Lopez, a couple of lefties. They have Duffy from the right side on the bench, but those are their options, and so he gets the left-hander loosening. And we saw that against Philadelphia. He kind of handled it in a very similar way. First pitch to Perez, and that one is lined into center. That's a base hit. Witt to third, they'll wave him. Jankowski's throw cut off near the mound. RBI single makes it a 1-run game.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be real patient right here. He's on the top step looking to hit on out there. This is a fastball right down the middle. Looks like it ended up breaking the bat of Sal Perez. But that bat died a hero. Bobby Witt Jr. with that great speed, even though he had to hesitate before that ball hit the outfield turf, still ends up coming around to score easily.
All right, so here's the skipper. He'll take the baseball. Will Smith coming on when we return. the Royals with runners at second and first base. Vinny Pasquantino coming up. But Will Smith out there for the Rangers.
Smith has 3.2 innings in. Has yet to give up a run. 4 strikeouts, 1 walk. And opponents hitting .091. Pasquantino with 3 knocks here tonight.
First pitch on the way, and Pasquantino lifts this one out to right field. And Garcia able to run underneath it. His throw into second base is almost in time. Oh my. Jackie Bradley Jr. in there running for Salvador Perez, and he made that maybe a little closer than they would have liked.
A little soft fly ball out there, pushes Garcia back towards the warning track. He comes up, throws his ball flat-footed towards second base as Jackie Bradley Jr. tags up at first. Makes it a very close play right there.
So second and third, 1 out, an intentional walk given to Olivares. That loads the bases and creates a force out anywhere on the diamond. So now you're hoping for the ground ball or whatever, with Massey coming up. 0 for 3, a couple of strikeouts and a fly out, and the first pitch from Smith, and that one bends right in there for a strike. One out. That's pretty impressive right there for Massey. 3 for 3 in his career with the bases loaded.
Good job by Jonah right there, getting in front of that ball, that slider in the dirt. It's something he is really starting to take pride in, is that ability to block the ball.
Corners are in, 1-1, and this one flared over the left side out of play. 2 strikes now on Massey. Melendez, Bradley, Olivares, third to first. Here it comes. Got him swinging. That's a huge strikeout for Will Smith.
This is just a great pitch by Will Smith. Starts his ball on the plate, the slider. Just some good late action as it runs away from Massey. You can see that tight little circle on the seams. And Jonah holds on for strike 3.
So Smith needs 1 more. Eaton, the batter, and he takes outside for ball. Eaton came in to pinch run last inning for Franmil Reyes. Stays in the game as the DH. And Smith gets the top of the zone for a strike, 1-1.
Royals now with 10 strikeouts tonight. They've done that 7 times already this season. It's the most in the American League.
There's the 1-1. And good job back there again by Heim to keep that one in front.
You know, all the pitchers watch that as well, because when you get ahead in the count and you want to bury one in the dirt, hopefully the hitter will expand the strike zone and swing at it. When you know your catcher's going to block that ball, you have a lot more confidence throwing something hard. You don't make that mistake up.
2-2. It has been a horrible start at the plate for Eaton. He came into yesterday's game 0 for 14 with 7 strikeouts. Finally got his first hit of the season. Smith trying to close out a big inning here, the 2-2. Got him swinging! And the inning is done. Back-to-back strikeouts with the bases loaded, and Will Smith escapes the jam.
Will Smith steps up and puts out the fire here with the bases loaded. Gets strike 3 as Jonah Heim blocks it again and steps on home for the out. Oh, he likes it. The 8th inning, Let's take a look at the Rally House Rangers defense. Tonight, it's been about strikeouts. The Kansas City Royals with 11 strikeouts now, but who needs defense when you just swing and miss? That's what the Rangers have been relying on all night long as they continue to put the Kansas City Royals. Will Smith putting out the fire with the bases loaded. Again, a great job by Jonah Heim blocking this one. Picks it up, steps on home to end the rally.
Well, it's pretty clutch. It's one thing to put up good numbers as the bullpen has done, but to come through in a big spot like that, that's enormous. Now, Carlos Hernandez, a right-hander on here for Kansas City. In fact, an entirely new battery. MJ Melendez takes over behind the plate. And it is 1-1.
Hernandez, a hard-throwing right-hander. Those 97 miles an hour, curveball, slider, and a change.
There's strike two. So if Melendez going behind the plate, that means Jackie Bradley Jr. stays in right field. Take over there for Melendez. Young asks for time and now steps back in, and they'll refire up that clock. 1-2 pitch. Oh, that just missed. That's a spot that's been open tonight, but no call that time. Young has a couple of hits tonight. A double, a single, and he scored a run. The 2-2. The count has run full. Those are close. Again, based on what we've seen tonight, even closer. And that was not close. Ball 4. Young is on, and a good start to the bottom of the 8th inning. How about a message now from Kia?
The all-powerful Kia SUVs assembled in Georgia.
A man on. And Jonah Heim steps in 0 for 3. A 1-run game in the 8th, and he takes a fastball for a strike.
Like Jonah asked him, is that the top of the zone?
Oh, 2. What does an up usually, how does he respond to that?
Well, you know, you're back there building a relationship with him like all night long. So Jonah, I don't think I've ever really seen him challenge an umpire. So he'll give a pretty straight answer.
Ooh. 1-2.
And Jonah being on the receiving end of a lot of those DeGrom strikes that were probably off the plate.
That's low. 2-2. Hernandez last year made a career high 27 appearances with the Royals. He was up and down some 4 times last season. And breaking ball fouled away. He began the year as a starter, made 7 starts. But then he was turned into a reliever the last 20 appearances, all out of the bullpen for him. One of those guys who's kind of been back and forth between those roles over the years. 2-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. 100 miles per hour. And Heim strikes out, 1 away.
This one right across the top of the zone. Probably a ball right here, but the little four-seamer has got some extra run on it as Jonah swings and misses.
Not happy, and now Jankowski, he'll take a strike right at the bottom of the zone. Travis 0 for 3 today. A couple of times he's flied out. Once he's bounced out. A man at first, 1 away, and there's another good fastball perfectly placed, and it's 0-2. Fouled off. Hernandez also pitched in the World Baseball Classic this year. He was on Team Venezuela. Helped get Venezuela to the quarterfinals. Yeah, they were good. Fell to the United States in the quarterfinals. Pitched twice in the tournament. The 0-2 pitch, and this one fouled off again.
He had a chance to be at the opener, the Dominican Republic against Venezuela down in Miami.
Oh boy.
It was electric. Yeah, it was electric. I don't know if that stadium's ever been that full.
Doubtful. A little Havana was hopping.
It was rocking.
0-2 pitch and a bouncer up the middle, and that could be two. Witt gets the one on the first in time. Double play, not an easy play, but the double play ends the inning. So it's off to the ninth. Last chance for Kansas City as we head to the ninth inning. Now get the latest news and highlights on your Texas Rangers. Follow us on social media to stay connected. Will Smith back out after navigating through a treacherous eighth inning, and he'll face the left-handed hitting Kyle Isbell. On the first pitch, Isbell pops it up left side, but that one ends up just beyond the dugout. Now, Jose Leclerc has been loosening in the Rangers bullpen, so it may well be that Leclerc would come out to face Hunter Dozier and Bobby Witt Jr., who are to follow, a couple of right-handed hitters. We shall see. Smith was excellent in the eighth inning. Back-to-back strikeouts with the bases loaded. Oh, that's fouled off. I would think, as a pitcher, as a reliever, about the coolest maneuver that you could pull off would be to issue an intentional walk to load the bases and then strike out the next two guys to get out of the inning.
Doesn't get much better.
No, that's pretty much peak street cred right there for a guy in the pen. 0-2. Couldn't get Isbell to chase.
That was a good pitch, though. As close as you can come right there. And Isbell did a nice job of not chasing that one. See if he comes back with it one more time.
Tried it. 2-2. Isbell very patiently waiting, and he fights that one off. He had a double in the third inning. He since grounded out and flied out. Strikeouts have been part of the story again tonight. After the impressive effort by Andrew Heaney yesterday, DeGrom struck out 9 in his 7 innings. Will Smith a couple more last inning. And here's a 2-2. And Isbell shoots it up the middle. That's a base hit. So the tying run on in the ninth inning for Kansas City. And here comes Bruce Bochy. He's already signaled to the pen. Jose Leclerc has been summoned. Tying run on base. Leclerc was named the closer right before the season started. And now he's got a chance to really take hold of that role. Ninth inning, and Jose Leclerc is on here with the tying run on base.
Leclerc has appeared in 3 games, and he has thrown 3 innings. He's got an ERA of just 0. 4 strikeouts, 1 walk. Opponents are hitting only 100 against the right-hander. He's got 1 save, looking for number 2 here.
Well, the Rangers with a bullpen ERA of 1.93 through the first 10 games. That's third best in baseball. Only the Brewers and the Rays have been better. Leclerc's first pitch, a hard fastball that misses in on Hunter Dozier. Pardon me, Nicky Lopez, a pinch hitter. So they do empty the bench and bring in the left-handed hitting Lopez. And he takes just off the corner. 2-0.
Lopez hitting just 150 on the season.
It's been a struggle for a lot of these Royals. The 2-0 inside. You got to throw them strikes. 3-0. The Royals with runners on base tonight. They're 3 for 17. They've got a man at first in Isbell. The 3-0 pitch. That's down the middle. There you go. Lopez taken all the way. Nicky 2 strikes. You call him, and so he's got to get another strike before he's ready to go to work. Quick toss over to first. Now important to keep that man at first base. Looks like they're setting up in. Here comes the 3-1. And that's way too far that way. A walk forces the tying run into scoring position. We talked to Boch a lot about pitching, about his bullpen, what differentiates guys who you put in high leverage spots, etc. And oftentimes this is not an uncommon sentiment from a manager, but the answer is, well, it's the ability to throw strikes, command the zone. Breaking ball, and that's fouled away by Bobby Witt Jr. And that's one piece at times for Leclerc that, you know, kind of needs to be a focal point for him.
Well, and certainly the frustration of a pinch hitter who's hitting 150 and you end up walking him. Right. Not being able to throw strike one to that guy, making that guy try to put the ball in play.
They don't necessarily have to be perfect pitches, right? And you don't want to make mistakes, certainly. But you got to give yourself a chance. Throw strikes. Runners lead the 1-1, and this one fouled over to the right side, strike 2.
And the concern, obviously, when you walk him, now you're bringing up Bobby Witt Jr., who, yes, he's gotten off to a slow start, but he still has some thunder in that bat.
Yep, he's dangerous. The 1-2. Yeah, that's outside. I mean, we've seen these Royals hitters chase. They're not afraid to be aggressive and go after pitches that are close, but they've got to be close. 4-3, 9th inning. Two-two. Yeah, that's a full count. Colleyville Heritage High School. Bobby Witt Jr., second pick overall in the draft a couple years ago. This guy is one of the brightest shining stars from the area in recent years. Leclerc with a long hold. Here's the payoff, and it's in the air right field. Coming in, Garcia, long run toward the line, he got it. Tagging at second, Isbell, and he'll head to third. He's in there. It's a gutsy base running move by Isbell, but a very profitable one because he's the tying run.
It's a really difficult throw right here for Garcia as he fades all the way to his left. Has to do a little spin move a la Roberto Clemente back in the World Series, but comes up a little bit short over at third as Isbell goes from second to third.
Okay, so now a fly ball of some depth might be enough to tie it. At the same time, if Melendez puts it on the ground, a double play could end it. And he'll foul back, strike one. He is prone to the strikeout. He's punched out a couple of times tonight already. And certainly Leclerc would take that. One strike pitch. And this one on the ground, foul, strike two.
Dave, this is where you have to go for the strikeout right here. You got him right where you want him. You got to be looking to throw that strikeout pitch.
Let's see what he tries here. The 0-2, and this one lined into right field. That's a base hit. It ties the game. Lopez stops at second base. And MJ Melendez with an RBI single in the ninth has made it a new game.
So let's take a look at where this pitch is located. It's a changeup, and he leaves it elevated up out over the plate. And Melendez just kind of flips it out there in the right field. Too good of a pitch with an 0-2 count. Once you got the guy on the ropes like that, you've got to make sure that he's chasing a pitch that's going to be outside of the strike zone.
Jonah Heim out there to have a word with Leclerc. Lopez at second, Melendez at first base. Taylor Hearn and Cole Reagans moving around in that bullpen. Still just the one out. Jackie Bradley Jr. He pinch ran in the 8th inning, his first at bat of the night, and he launches this one down the right side, but foul. Oof. Strike one. No, look back at second. At third base, Young is in right off the edge of the infield grass. Everybody else at double play depth. And that is outside, 1-1.
He's throwing a lot of changeups this inning. Base hit came off a changeup that ended up tying up the game. Pretty safe to say it's probably his third best pitch after the fastball and slider.
He's just having a little trouble right now commanding anything. 2-1. DeGrom won't be involved in the decision tonight. Here's a ground ball. That could be two. To flip to second one. Smith on to first. There's a double play. All right, the inning is done. Kansas City got that tying run across, but the Rangers can win it in the bottom of the ninth when we come back. Into the bottom of the ninth inning. And they will see the hard-throwing left-hander, Aroldis Chapman.
Yeah, Chapman has appeared in 4 innings. He's got an ERA of 0, 8 strikeouts, 1 walk, and opponents are hitting only 77.077 against the hard thrower. Fastball at 98, slider 86, and a changeup at 88.
Nicky Lopez stays in the game at third base now. And so Chapman ready to go. Rangers go to the bench to Robbie Grossman. And I think they're having a little pitch comm issue right away here. I don't know if that was like the universal signal for bad pitch comm, but something's wrong with it. So they swap out something. They don't know what to swap out. I don't know. You take it. Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Technology. You love it when it works, but when it doesn't.
Copy walkie-talkie. They can't quite. They're also getting a card at Legacy. It's interesting. There's more than. It may not have really been the PitchCom device. It might have been a ruse the whole while just to get the pitch card. Now, essentially, everybody's ready. Grossman in there in the first pitch. That's not a good one. Ball 1. Kansas City just scored a run in the 9th to tie it. Chapman's had his hiccups in recent years. This ball hit hard out to left field. And Olivares is there for it, 1 away. Now here's Bubba Thompson now. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Rangers still have Ezekiel Duran on the bench and Sandy Leon. But that is all they have left. A pitch to Thompson. And Bubba swings right through it. Strike 1.
Rangers sure could use a triple off the bat of Bubba Thompson like he had in Chicago.
Oh, 2. Interesting to watch Chapman this inning, a guy who kind of max effort, obviously throws very hard, has built quite a reputation on that. How he deals with the pitch timer. That's high, 1 and 2. Well, some guys, their games just aren't really built for that frenetic pace. I'm not saying one way or the other on a rollies. We haven't seen enough of it yet. The big fella's 1-2, and that's down in the dirt. 6'4", 240 pounds. Out of Cuba. A 7-time All-Star. And at times as dominant as there is in the game. The 2-2. This one hit sharply up the middle. Might have glanced off of Chapman. And Massey is there. They're able to throw out Bubba Thompson. 2 away. And here's Marcus Semien. Semien has 2 hits tonight, and he'll take a slider upstairs, ball 1.
I sure would like to see a walk-off home run right here.
One and 1. Marcus, I'm going to take it right along with you on that one.
Well, I guarantee you that's what he's thinking right here.
Strike 2, 101 miles per hour. How bizarre is it? The game started with a guy for the Rangers throwing 101. Here we are, 9th inning. Chapman's throwing 101. There's a swing and a miss at 102 with a fastball. Semien goes down on strikes. Well, we've got extra innings here tonight. Royals, Rangers tied at 4. Inning. Now looking ahead to tomorrow, Rangers host the Royals again. 7 o'clock for the first pitch right here on Valley Sports Southwest. Our first extra innings game of the year, same for Kansas City. And so the inning will begin with Jackie Bradley Jr., the last man to be retired in the 9th inning, starting at second base. A rule that began in 2020, and Pasquantino was intentionally walked. So before a pitch is thrown in the 10th inning, the Royals have
2 guys on.
2 men on base. That is wild. There is strike 1 to Olivares now. So Leclerc stays in the game. And his next offering, this one lifted out to right field. Albombi gets in a good position, makes the catch. Bradley tags up and he advances to third, 1 out, with men on the corners. And here comes Bruce Bochy. Cole Reagans had been loosening in the bullpen, the left-hander. Michael Massey coming to the plate. And Reagans heading into the game, still tied at 4.
Start for the Texas Rangers, coming off a outstanding outing against the Baltimore Orioles where he struck out 11, went 6 innings. Tonight he goes 7 strong innings, scatters 7 hits, gives up 2 runs, and punches out 9. And one of the biggest things was he did not walk anyone as well. He left the game with the Rangers leading by 2.
Kansas City has come back though to force extras. They have men on the corners, 1 out, and Cole Reagans, left-handed pitcher, working against the left-handed hitting Michael Massey, who's 0 for 4. Infield in, and this one bounced foul, 1-1. And he's been excellent. Reagans, Dane Dunning, both guys who might have been in the rotation had not the Rangers gone out and added so many starters this offseason. And now both in the bullpen to start the year. They both threw really well during the spring and have been that much more impressive in the regular season, both of them. It'll be impressive to get out of this jam. A 2-1 pitch, and it's in the air, center field, and that's going to be deep enough. Jankowski underneath it. Bradley tags at third, he'll score. A sac fly by Massey. Kansas City has taken the lead 5-4 in the 10th inning. First lead of the night. Meanwhile, here is Eaton. He's got them 0 for 18 last night. Pops this one up. Near first base. Lowe is there. Inning is over. So the Royals get a run. They now have a lead, and it's up to the Rangers in the bottom of the 10th inning to figure out a way now to either tie or win this game. A hit in the top of the 10th inning, and now put the pressure on the Rangers here in the last of the 10th inning. We'll see yet another new pitcher from Kansas City, Scott Barlow.
Barlow has thrown 3 innings so far this season. He's got a 0 ERA, 3 strikeouts, 2 walks. The opponent's hitting 111. He's got a fastball, a curve, and a slider. A fastball at 94 miles an hour. His curveball at 79. He'll throw that 31% of the time, but it's his slider that is his go-to pitch. He throws that at 84 and throws it 44% of the time. So be looking for something with a wrinkle in it.
How about we figure out the pitch comm a little bit better here, fellas?
Wow.
It's not that hard. All right. Well, the zombie runner this inning, Marcus Semien, he's at second. Here's Josh Smith. No pitch timer on at all in the park, and now a throw back to second base. Now they get the clock going. Semien maybe trying to put a little pressure on out there. Corners are in. Smith takes strike 1 from Barlow. Rangers last year in extra innings games, they went 6-9. But at home, just 1 win in 6 extra innings games. Smith hits this ball hard out to right field. Bradley Jr. is back. He'll make the catch. Semien with a tag. He advances to third, and he's just in there ahead of the throw. That was close. But he got in there. And that's a big link on the bases to get.
There's just some great base running right here by Marcus Semien. He sees that this ball's hit hard, but he recognizes that Jackie Bradley Jr.'s out there. He goes back very quickly, tags up, and beats the throw over to third. Well done.
Now that's big. Semien's had a good night at the plate. 2 hits. Now, good base running maneuver has him 90 feet away with a tying run. Lowe wants time. Well, and now Lowe's asking, like, wait a minute,
did I just
is that my timeout? And I think part of the confusion is, again, I don't know if the clock was on or the timer. Lowe's ready, and the pitch from Barlow is high, ball 1. Nathaniel had an RBI double in the 3rd inning. With everybody up tight, just a hard ground ball through the infield would tie the game. 1-1.
Nathaniel hitting well over 400 with runners in scoring position. If you had to pick a guy, you'd be picking this guy to be in this situation right here. Leading the club in that category.
Strike 2. Extended his hitting streak to 7 games tonight. 4 doubles during the streak. The 1-2. And that is in the air. Just over the infield. Witt with a long run. And he wrestles that one into the glove. What a play by Bobby Witt Jr. Semien thought about it, but he holds. Well, that was a good catch.
Pretty incredible athletic play right here by Bobby Witt Jr. Remember, he's playing in to stop the run at home. Has to go back there and very awkwardly makes a little basket catch over the shoulder. Gets to his feet quickly and gets off that throw, which stops Semien at that point. He was thinking, waiting to make sure that that ball was hitting the ground. Not a whole lot Marcus Semien could do right there.
Then the throw, you know, was not on line. It wasn't the greatest throw, obviously.
But the thing that'll stop a runner, as soon as he sees that ball in the air, it'll make him pause. It's not a great throw, as you mentioned. He didn't really have a chance to get his feet set, but once that ball releases his hands, it will stop most runners from trying to advance.
Last hope now, Adolis Garcia. Oh, just going to take a hit, a wild pitch, pass ball, something along those lines to get it done. 2 out, bottom of the 10th. The tying run, 90 feet away.
Well, the man who hit the grand slam last night.
1-1. Well, we know he's got a penchant for the big spot. Marlowe to the plate, and this one up the middle, base hit, and it's tied up again. El Bombi delivers in the 10th.
Adolis Garcia comes up with a big RBI. Remember, this is a guy that had over 100 last season. Comes through in the clutch as he drives this one right back through the middle. Solid ground ball base hit as Marcus Semien comes around to score. All tied up at 5.
The winning run on base now. And Young takes ball 1. Josh Young, 2 hits and a walk already tonight. And he'll take a strike, 1-1. One and 2. Now Garcia at first base. He does have good speed, tremendous athlete. So Young could find some real estate out there, especially left center field. 1-2, there goes Garcia, and it's fouled back. Adolis
had a good jump too.
Yeah. We've talked a lot, certainly in the offseason there was a lot of talk. We've talked some, I suppose, about the bigger bases, so a little bit less distance between first and second. Restrictions on the pitchers. It's a good error to run. That's low, 2-2. So as a base runner, slightly increased odds of making it, and Garcia is a good base stealer. Esquantino holds him at first. He's got a decent lead. 2-2. And that's in the air, foul. We'll do it again.
Garcia also wears the mitt over there, gives him an extra 2 inches.
Yeah.
So 3 inches for the bag, the base, another 2 for the mitten.
2-2. Uh-oh. Just a piece of the bat, I guess. Let's see.
Yeah, just as he was trying to hold up. At first glance, he almost thought it hit him in the right arm. It looks like it just ran right up along the bat for a foul ball.
Garcia going, the 2-2. Down low, the throw to second, not in time. And Garcia is in there, and now the winning run in scoring position. First stolen base of the season for Adolis.
Garcia's gotten a couple of really good jumps right here. Thing about him is he gets up to full speed after just a couple of strides. Not a whole lot Melendez can do right here. He's in there easily.
Big pitch coming. 3-2. Outside ball 4. Young is on for the 4th time tonight. Getting a little antsy down in that Kansas City dugout now. 2 men on base. Jonah Heim coming to the plate. So that calls for a visit to the mound. Sweeney out there to have a word with Barlow. Barlow at 18 pitches this inning. So he might have just needed a little breather too. That probably didn't hurt. Well, it's not often the hitters get a moment to relax before an at-bat. Jonah taking a second to work on some breathing techniques, calm things down just a touch.
Just trying to slow things down.
First pitch way in, ball 1.
That's where your mind has to go into that RBI mode, just looking for a base hit, looking for a line drive single.
Takes low again. 2-0.
2 good takes right there.
The Rangers already got 1 this inning. The winning run out at second in the form of Adolis Garcia. Here's a 2-0. And that ball hit in the air. Deep out to right. It is gone! Jonah Heim with a game-winning homer.
Wow. I'll tell you what, this swing is so short, so compact, yet so powerful. Jonah Heim delivers in a big spot right here with a 3-run home run to walk it off. Enjoy it, young man.
Won the series by taking game 2 tonight 8-5, the final score in 10 innings.
As you mentioned, Jonah had some time before that at-bat to get ready. Going to take a look at this pitch by pitch right here. The first one here, he takes it. He sees it well. Second time, you can just see he's seeing that ball out of his hand, and then boom. This pitch is right down Broadway. Wow. He just crushes this into the seats in right field. Jonah with that same reaction as last night. We heard the crack all the way up here, but he had that feeling in that stick. This was a no-doubter deep into the seats in right field. Jonah Heim, home run number 2. Wow. A big 3-run walk-off home run.
You know, he's found his way into these moments as well, just like Adolis Garcia. It started with that big single by Adolis, but tonight it was Jonah Heim who finished it off. That was impressive. Great win for the Rangers. Now 3 games over 500 at 7-4, and the hero of the game is down there with Emily Jones.
Thank you very much. Yeah, you got it over with. You got it over with. Jonah Heim, that's quite the dramatic way to end a game. Take me through that at-bat.
Yeah, I mean, first couple of at-bats didn't go my way. That's an amazing at-bat by Josh to keep the inning going. And I was just trying to hit a line drive somewhere, and it went over the fence. So, I mean, it's a pretty good feeling, and great team win.
It seemed like you knew right off the bat that it was gone. What was that feeling like?
It's a great feeling. I don't think there's anything like it in sports. Like I said, that's an amazing team win. Hopefully we come back and do it tomorrow.
How much fun is it right now playing with this team?
It's amazing. I mean, the confidence of this team is unreal. And when you got Jacob deGrom on the mound and he's striking out everybody he sees, it's pretty special. We just got to keep rolling and have some fun.
Yeah, what was it like being behind the plate for Jacob tonight? He seemed to be locked in pretty early.
Yeah, I mean, he's a special talent. It's easy. My job's easy. All I have to do is put some fingers down and hopefully catch the ball and throw it back. So, I mean, you saw it tonight. He's got all this stuff and great talent.
Jonah, congratulations on the win. We appreciate it. We'll let you go inside and get warmed up.
Thank you.
We'll send it back now to you guys.
Well, that's the way you do it. That's pretty fun. A Jacob deGrom start, and then the walk-off blast by Jonah Heim. For Dave Valley and Emily Jones, I'm Dave Raymond. Thanks for being with us. We invite you to keep it right here. There's more Rangers coverage coming up on Rangers Live Postgame next.